Please tell me a story.
You want a story? I'll tell you a story.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a quick story of my 2013 CRF250L and why I sold it. So I bought the bike in 2016. It was between that and the WR250R, and the CRF was just cheaper. I couldn't afford the WR at the time, so I bought it. And I was a fairly new rider, so the bike kind of suited me. I don't think I was very good, but over the years I've definitely come a long way. So, Harvey, get out of here. Okay, so sorry, the cat moved the camera. So, where was I? Harvey! Okay, so I bought the CRF250L, and like I said, I was a beginner rider, but I've come a long way, so the bike really suited me. I rode the bike for a whole year and a half. Everything was fine. I loved it, did a couple mods to it, and then I decided to take it up to, like way up north, probably like 2 hours past Barrie or something like that. And I took it off the truck, off the truck, and I took a look at it, and the front wheel wasn't aligned with the fender, and while riding it, the handlebars weren't aligned. So you're thinking, oh, you just maybe strapped it down a little bit too tight. Simply undo the triple clamps and just reset it. No, I did that, and I still could not get it to line properly. So I just kind of put up with it and I rode it. But when I got it home, I literally spent like 4 months with a tape measure measuring to try to find exactly where it's out of alignment. I took the whole front end off, so all the forks off, the wheel off, the axle, that kind of thing. I took the upper and lower triple trees right off, reset everything, put it all back together, and it was out like 1/4 of an inch of alignment. I replaced the front axle. That didn't fix it. I measured the wheel completely. The front wheel is completely straight. I replaced the upper and the lower triple trees, put it all back together again, and could not get it. It was out 1/4 of an inch. One leg was 1/4 of an inch further than the other one. I think what I did was I strapped down the bike a little too tight when I took it up north, and I think I bent something. I know a lot of people will say there's no way you bent something by strapping the bike down, but it was in the trailer it was in the truck strapped down like that for a couple days. I'm pretty sure it had to have. So anyways, that kind of killed the bike for me. I couldn't get it to ride straight, but I decided to put up with it. So I put up with it until the rear shock or something in the rear of the bike, when going over like a bump where it compresses and lets out fully, it would make this cracking noise. And I couldn't figure it out. Why the heck is it making a cracking noise? I took the rear shock completely out, had the rear shock tested, and it came back perfect. So as I was in there trying to decide what's this rear cracking noise, I noticed on the inside of the frame of the bike, there was a crack right in the frame. So immediately I went inside and said, this bike's dead to me. I'm done with this bike. But I came back out and I'm looking at this crack, and I don't know if it was a crack or a screwdriver scratch that was really deep. So I filled the scratch with paint, and then I went out for a ride, came back, and the paint was broken. So, you know, like the metal's moving, splitting the paint. But then I'm thinking, well, maybe the paint was just settling inside the crack. Anyways, I have no idea. It probably wasn't a crack, but it could have been. This bike's dead to me. So I sold the bike. That was it. I put it up for sale and it was gone. I sold it for a great price. I bought the bike for $4,000. I sold it for $3,200, $3,150, and so the bike's gone. That bike's dead to me. But I like the CRF250L. I just wish I wouldn't have had problems. I probably would still have the bike, to be honest. And then I sold that, and then I actually left it for a good 2 months, and then I bought a WR250R. Unfortunately, I have I have a similar story about the WR, but I'll tell that at a different time. So anyways, that's my CRF story. Wildman out.